This is Todd Blanche, who was Donald Trump's defense attorney, who is now being affirmed as the United States Attorney General. And the mission of the Department of Justice is to uphold the rule of law, keep the country safe, and protect civil rights. Now, that being said, put them to the test. As you see here, this was sent to Todd Blanche, and of which he received this arriving May the 20th, 2026 at 9:15 p.m. Now, as being the U.S. Attorney General, his loyalty goes to the Constitution. And as I said, put to the test. So here you have this petition to Todd Blanche, which states for him to, all three branches are corrupt, which includes President Trump, United States Supreme Court, and Congress. And the former U.S. Attorney General Pamela Bondi was petitioned to enforce the rule of law, disbursed $13.3 billion to me, Jesha Miller, for the United States Supreme Court imposing slavery prohibited by the 13th Amendment. Now, being put to the test, he did not do that. And the motive for corruption, as you see, is he had to hold President Donald Trump accountable by the rule of law. As you'll see right here, President Donald Trump illegally took office, needing 2/3 of both the House and the Senate to take away the disability, because as the 45th president, he breached oath of office, refusing to honor the Constitution's checks and balances, which are an official order mandate government be checked for corruption. They're refusing to be checked for corruption, and they're continuing that as the 47th president in the violation of Article 2, Section 3, to take care of the laws are faithfully executed. That requires the Constitution's checks and balances, because he don't get to do that. That is in defiance of the rule of law, and so he's acting under a rule of power and not the rule of law. And with all of that being said, Code of Ethics: uphold the Constitution, laws, and legal regulations of the United States and all governments therein, and never be a party to their evasion. And that is what Todd Blanche has done. He is evading the Constitution's checks and balances, which is what? An official order mandate that they be checked for corruption, of which they're refusing to do. And then it's also supposed to expose corruption wherever discovered. Now, as I said, this is mandatory by law, which means something is required by an official rule, checks and balances, and an official order mandate they be checked for corruption. Leaves no room for choice. He don't get to choose about nothing. He got to follow by the rule of law. Skip or change. If the law or clause is mandatory, people, as is U.S. Attorney Todd Blanche, or the courts must follow it. And breaking the rule brings penalties. Now, what's the penalty for breach of oath of office? Removal from office. And as I said, now this gets good. What Donald Trump did is void by law. Means an action, a document, or a transaction has no legal effect whatsoever. It is treated as an absolute nullity, as it has never existed or happened. Courts will not enforce a void agreement, and it cannot be fixed or made valid. So, with Donald Trump being in office now, or which he illegally took, everything he has done must be reversed. Because in the law of illegality, is the state or quality of an act, agreement, or decision being contrary to or unauthorized. He knew he needed 2/3 of both the House and the Senate, of which he did not do. An existing statute, well, that's what I'm talking about. Criminal law in obstruction of justice, Title 18, Section 1503. That's obstruction of justice because this is mandatory by law. It's a public policy. It renders the offending conduct or transaction unlawful and often completely void in the legal sense. And there you have it right there. Donald Trump illegally took office. It is void, and everything that he has done must be reversed. Oh, that changes the game. Oh, and then you got the unprecedented, as I am empowered by the Constitution's checks and balances. They have no deterrence. The FBI are not a deterrent. And that was Corey Amundsen. And that means now he must go by the rule of law. That means using the checks and balances. He could not do whatever he wants and get away with it. So it's showtime. This calls for me to be on Capitol Hill right now. And hey, I told you, U.S. Attorney General Todd Blanche was not credible, as he had this since May and has not done nothing, has concealed it from the public. It's time for him to go, and Donald Trump has to be held accountable, and I am empowered. What a black man empowered, unprecedented. Them being checked for corruption, unprecedented. Owing me $13.3 billion, unprecedented. Yeah, and it's showtime. Mandatory by law. That's what I'm talking about. Mandatory by law. Something is required by an official statute, and it leaves no room for choice. Capitol Hill, get ready. It's that time. Y'all been concealing this from the public. The media has not picked this up in cahoots. This is a guaranteed right of which they're violating. Everybody in America, the guaranteed First Amendment right to speech, press. Time to press them out. Pressure. That's what transparency is. Exposing what they're doing on Capitol Hill has to be done now. And the media must give me national coverage. Guaranteed right.